Hello, it's the LaSala Show, episode 25, January 28th, 2021. Had to give myself a few days to cool off after that Packers playoff loss. It really wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, my reaction. The game was a shit show, but my reaction in years past is usually that of a child, a bitch, a lot of tears, a lot of calling out of work, sucking my thumb. But this year, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe I'm losing my will to live. Things that once brought me joy bring me no emotion whatsoever. I don't know. I think I was just more embarrassed than anything. I wasn't mad. I was frustrated a little bit, but mostly embarrassed. Tom Brady throws you 3 consecutive interceptions and you don't do anything with it? To me, the 2 most important plays of the game. Well, the first, at the end of the second quarter, right before halftime, Buccaneers about to punt. And then they decide to call a timeout. They run a Hail Mary. Mike Pettin calls his worst defense ever. Kevin King gets made look like a fool. What the hell? Scotty Miller, little speedy white boy, burns Kevin King. I don't care what defense you call. If you're Kevin King, I would imagine you would have to think to yourself, all right, I know this is one of the fastest receivers in the game. Why am I going to let him get behind me? So that one, when they went up 21-10, to me, that was the turning point in the game. I mean, all during halftime, I was just settling into the fact that, all right, we're going to blow another NFC Championship game, this time at home. So I was already sort of resigned to that fact. And then we get the ball in the second half, and Aaron Jones, not only does he fumble and the Bucs pick it up, he gets hurt, he's out the rest of the game. Buccaneers go down and score a touchdown, 28-10. At that point, I'm sorry, I think all of us looked at each other and said, this game is over. Not so. We found a way to make it even more painful by actually starting to wake up and play better, only to fall apart at the end on the heels of a ridiculous coaching call by not going for it on 4th and 8, which could have been negated by a Rodgers touchdown had he just tucked the ball on that 3rd down and run it in. Some say, he wouldn't have gotten in anyway. Even if he doesn't get in, it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3. That makes it a lot easier to go for it on 4th and 2, 3, 4. Terrible in hindsight. I know what Matt LaFleur was thinking. And it probably pays off if not for that ridiculous Kevin King pass interference on 3rd down the following drive. Now, the referees were letting the receivers and defensive backs play, as they say. There were people tugging on jerseys. Okay, so Rodgers' only interception in the game was because Murphy Bunting from Tampa Bay literally clutched all of Alan Lazard's shoulder pad and then was able to jump the route and pick Aaron Rodgers off. How that was not called, and yet on the last most important pass, yes, Kevin King gets a handful of jersey, and that's what's so stupid because the ball was overthrown. It was an uncatchable ball. And I think Godwin just like kind of flopped and threw his hands up like, oh, I can't catch it now. So, Kevin King, you're in the doghouse, sir. And I believe your contract is up. And I would not be sad if you weren't on the team next year. I hate to say it. Your shining moments with the team are few and far between. And your boneheaded plays in this game alone warrant your exit from the Green Bay Packers. I mean, there were other things too. I mean, again, probably 7 or 8 different plays that if they go the other way, we at least have a better chance of winning this game. Davante Adams, best receiver in the league, drops a routine touchdown. Will Redmond drops what would have been Tom Brady's 4th interception. Would have negated 7 points. Equanimeous St. Brown drops a 2-point conversion that would have made it a little more interesting. Aaron Jones' injury totally changed the way that Matt LaFleur called the game in the second half. We turned into a Mike McCarthy offense, just running four wide receiver sets. The run game was just left behind. Chris Barnes, our captain on defense with the mic in his helmet, he gets hurt. So then now it's Ty Summers, a guy that shouldn't even be on an NFL roster. Very frustrating, but again, I wasn't sad. I mean, we outgained Tampa Bay. We had more first downs. We won the time of possession, won the turnover battle, and still managed to lose. I'll be sick about it for another 10 years. But I'm mostly embarrassed. And really the main part of it is I'm such a sports talk radio / podcast enthusiast that I just hated having to hear all my favorite podcasts talk about how much we blew it. You know, like I could get over it if I avoided all those shows, but can I? No. I'm addicted. And not to sound like a bad fan or something like that, but the Packers weren't going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, even if we had gotten to the Super Bowl. And, I mean, look, the way that this team is constructed, we're not ready to contain that Kansas City offense. There's no way. We probably could have gotten into a shootout, and maybe Patrick Mahomes breaks his knee or something. I don't know. But barring any crazy sort of injury, the Chiefs would have beat us in that Super Bowl. And I think the whole 2-week build-up of everybody talking about it for 2 weeks and, you know, all the stories that get told and, all right, we're going to follow around Davante Adams this week and blah, blah, blah. That, to me, that would have stung a little deeper if we had lost in a Super Bowl rather than play decent and just sort of fall apart. I don't know. I'm still processing it, as you can tell. So we fired our special teams coach. Mike Pettin, our defensive coordinator, is probably gone. He's not under contract, so it would take the team to actually sign him to another extension, which you can't put it all on Mike Pettin. If not for that one boneheaded play where you don't have safeties in the back for what is ultimately a Hail Mary, that's inexcusable. Kevin King's probably gone. Aaron Jones is probably gone because someone's going to pay him way too much money. Yeah, it's sad. And then all this national narrative of, breaking down Aaron Rodgers' post-game press conference where he's like, I don't know what the future is for a lot of these guys in Green Bay, including me. And then people went and ran with it like, is Aaron Rodgers done in Green Bay? And then I listened to him. He does a weekly spot on the Pat McAfee show, which you should listen to only on Tuesdays when Aaron Rodgers is on. But Rodgers, to his credit, came on a mere 2 days after a painful loss and sat down with Pat McAfee and answered some tough questions and basically called out, quote unquote, the douchebags that were trying to make a story out of, a set of words that in the moment people tried to make into more than it was. Rodgers is signed for the next 3 years in Green Bay. So unless he's trying to restructure his contract in a way that some of the money can be backloaded, giving the Packers the opportunity to sign free agents or bolster the team, that's my theory, and that's what smart people have their money on. The rest of this shit about, he's put the league on notice that he's ready to go. He is open for trades. He wants to go to San Francisco. Oh, couldn't you see him playing with Bill Belichick in New England? All that shit. Please. The dude was understandably emotional after what was probably our best chance of making a Super Bowl as the team was made up. Home field advantage, Tom Brady throwing 3 picks in the second half. I mean, it was right there. Like, Tampa Bay gave us that win on a silver platter, and we looked at it, and we knocked it over. I'll not eat chicken. I want tuna. So coming up, get ready for the outpour of the same lazy narrative of, oh my God, Tampa Bay is the first team to ever host a Super Bowl at their own stadium. Can you believe it? That's one. Oh my God, Tom Brady at 43 is the oldest quarterback to start in a Super Bowl. That's another one. It's going to be gross. And also the uniform matchup. Tampa Bay with this like orange, white, pewter, black combo. And then Kansas City with this red, yellow, white. It's just going to be an eyesore. Unless, I'm thinking if Tampa Bay wears their all black uniform, which they trotted out here once this season, I believe. So Tampa in all black, and then Kansas City in all red. That's a nice uniform matchup. But as it stands, I believe Tampa's wearing their white jerseys, pewter pants, and Kansas City with the red tops and white bottoms. I'll pass on that. So yeah, it's going to be a rough 7 months until I can watch Packer football again. But I'm thankful. Maybe I've matured. Maybe football doesn't dictate my happiness anymore. I mean, I was down in the dumps there for a few days, but I don't know, maybe hearing Rodgers interviewed in like a real way, sort of a podcast format, not just, this bullshit Sports Center, 3 questions and you're out, post game kind of shit. To hear him actually joke around and be serious and sort of explain how he was feeling, it kind of put things in perspective for me to where, hey, we'll probably be back in the same, if not similar, position to win it all again next year. It just sucks that we were just this close. And, yeah, it's going to kill me, but this isn't the worst of my NFC championship losses when it comes to the Packers. This is probably the best team we've had, but this wasn't the most painful. Most painful, Seattle. And this is probably second. The other three, I didn't really give us a shot in those. Anyway, enough Packers talk. I'm over it, right? Can't you tell? Let's see here. Larry King died. Yeah. I like to think of myself as the new Larry King. I'm skinny. I don't wear suspenders yet. But I'm getting there. He also had like 7 wives. I mean, what the hell? I would think like after 3, like their 4th wife would be like, you promised, like, this is going to be it, right? Like, yes. The Miami Heat have introduced COVID-sniffing dogs. I feel like this is too much pressure on the dogs. I mean, what if they screw up and one person gives like 12 people COVID? Do you blame Buster the dog? He just had an off day. Also, it sets a dangerous precedent because if they're going to do this at basketball arenas outdoors, what does this mean for bars, restaurants, airports? Everything is just going to smell of dog piss and shit. Or maybe these sniffing dogs have, I don't know, much more regimented bathroom habits. They only piss at night and in the morning. The rest of the day, they're machines. All right, that's all I got, I guess. I'll be back soon. I don't even really want to talk about it. But yeah, I'll be back. Got some guests lined up. And don't forget, Bless the Biddies will be coming back. We're going to do it every Sunday now that football's not on. And if you want to follow on Instagram, I have a curated media page in which I post all of the funniest clips from television shows, reality shows, movies, etc. And that is jla.curated.media. And yeah, I got like 60 little clips up there so far. And it's pretty funny stuff. So yeah, I'll be back soon. And thanks for listening. And until next time, don't die.